Hey.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Ben. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Well, thank
birthday,
you.
Ben.
Thank you so very much.
Welcome to the What Did You Think podcast, episode
Yeah.
26, I think.
26.
If every
26.
if
It's
every episode
26.
was a year, he would be 5 years older than you today.
Correct. So this is the first time I'm doing the podcast as a 21-year-old.
You can now legally rent a car.
Nope, still can't. I have to be 25.
You can now legally be 4 years away from renting a car.
Right. Yeah. So Cameron, how did we celebrate my birthday today? What did we do?
We went to eat at your restaurant of your choosing that I definitely
Yeah, I did.
remember. Um,
What'd you get me?
oh, I got you a gift.
And go ahead and tell everybody what you got me.
Well, why don't you go ahead and tell them because it's your gift.
uh
The joke is this is pre-recorded. All
yeah.
right.
um yeah. Well, before we jump into everything today, thank you everyone for your birthday wishes. No. I what's funny
I'm
at
going to
work.
be putting Ben's address on screen if you want to send him any gifts.
Yep.
So
It's funny at work. When I used to work at Outback, no one knew my birthday. Because I don't like, you know what I mean? It's like super awkward. I'm like, how do you let people know
you
it's your
just walk
birthday without
in.
telling them?
Hey guys, someone's having a birthday today.
So what I would do is like with some of the guys at work, I'd be like, "Oh, happy birthday, by the way." Say, and they're like, "It's not my birthday." I was like, "Oh," and then just wait for them, and they're like, "Is it your birthday?" I was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, thank you."
That's
Uh,
worse, I think, than just telling them that it's your birthday.
it's pretty awkward, but very funny.
I would
And
agree. I would agree.
yeah, I don't recommend that, because it is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Either way, so a few things happened in the movie world. Um, I mean, if you got on YouTube, they dropped the new Hunger Games trailer
Mm-hmm.
today. Did you watch it?
I did.
What did you think of it?
It's interesting. I'm gonna see it because it's a Hunger Games and I like the Hunger Games. But if
Hmm.
you watched our tier list, you'd know that we thought that.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't know how they're gonna do this because if they want to make Snow a sympathetic character, knowing what he turns into,
Probably.
it's
I mean, I don't
like
know.
it's weird. I don't it's gonna be a weird movie.
Right. I mean, I didn't know Peter Dinklage was in the movie, and
I
as
did
soon
not
as I
either.
saw him in the trailer, I was like, "Oh, let's go, let's go." Uh, I got hyped. Also, some of the fight scenes look good, and then some of them not so
I
good. Like
I have an
everything in the
inkling.
games. I'm
I
sorry.
was gonna say I have an inkling of an idea that we might get a one take because some of the
Yeah, it
shots
looked
had
like in
that
the
look.
beginning.
Some of the
Yeah,
shots had that
exactly.
look of like the Birdman
Um,
perspective. I don't
but
know,
like looking at the fight scene, or like because it only shows like 3 seconds of the actual Hunger Games fight scene, like in the beginning.
which is
That
a
part
good
looks
thing.
super cool. I'm
Yeah,
super excited for it.
which means if they're
Every
really that would if they release another trailer, don't watch it because they'll just show the whole movie.
exactly, and also another thing that I'm worried about is that the reason I like the second one of the best of the franchise is that there's like everything that's happening that's important uh follows the main characters, obviously, duh. I don't know why I'm explaining that part, but in the games itself, like
Hmm.
we don't there's very little cutting out of the games to say, hey, this is also going on, this is what
Hmm.
this character thinks. You know what I mean? With the first one, they would cut to Gale and he's like, oh, come on, Katniss, you got this, or whatever. And I'm worried that they're almost tackling so much that it's going to feel like a big pacing issue where I'm really into the games itself and I don't care about anything else. Um, because when it showed the scene of a guy shooting the gun in the forest, I'm like, I'm not really, you know what I mean? But the games itself, for like the 3 to 5 second clip that we got, looks really good, and I'm really excited for it. I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah.
But also this week we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3,
which will have already come out which would have already been released by the time this episode is out, correct?
No, not at all. It's this Thursday.
Yeah, and we release these
every Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah. It's, so we took a week off.
Yeah,
because someone was in Florida, and he's going to talk about this.
We took a week off. We actually, I was in Florida the week the tier list went up. We took a week off the next week because, and I think that's a good enough reason.
Well, technically, we pre-recorded the tier list episode, so that way we didn't have to worry about recording an episode.
While I was in Florida.
So in reality, we did take 2 weeks off.
Exactly.
Which is fine. Yeah. We deserve it.
Yeah,
I'm 21 years old. I'm getting up there in age.
He's getting up there. You're not as spry as you used to be. Let me check the analytics real quick. Yeah, we just hit our next milestone, 27 subscribers. So
woo! Yeah. I know we also gained. Wait, I think we just gained another follower on our Spotify, which is good.
Yes, and you specifically, you know who you are. Thank you. I'm putting Ben's address back on the screen. He's letting you come to his house for dinner.
Yes.
So,
and
with Spotify video, you can actually see it. Our Spotify episodes have had videos. If you don't know that,
yeah, they do. But before we get into your tasty vacation, because I want to hear so much about it.
Well, this is your birthday episode. We're doing what you want. We can hold off the vacation talk until next week if you want.
We're gonna save it for 5 episodes later.
For my birthday in November.
Yeah. No, so listen here, everybody, real talk. We don't really do this. I mean, we kind of do. I don't know, but like, I love the podcast. Cameron loves it. My wife loves it. My brother loves it. Those are our only listeners. And I know when you do listen to this, I know you're gonna love it. But you need to share the love. It's not fair that we all get to keep this for ourselves. We need to tell other people about it. So, please share this to friends and family, okay?
I like how, according to your logic, the only people who listen is your wife and your brother, which means this speech you're giving to the camera, you can turn your head 3 degrees, look at Sarah on the couch, and tell her to her face.
Right. No, but you guys need to share the podcast. Do better, fan. I should not have yelled.
No, you shouldn't.
No, we need to get those numbers up, guys. Okay, we've been doing this for almost a certain time,
a few months. Yeah.
So we should honestly be at 1 million subs already. I'm not really sure. What
that being said, we're very grateful with what we have. So
right. I mean, and I've said this before, and if we can kind of get serious for a second, talking about finances, if we can, according to what we have right now, project accordingly to the end of the year, we will make exactly $0.00, which is honestly, I didn't think we were going to be able to achieve that. To be honest, I thought we were going to be in debt somehow. So the fact I
do this thing where Christmas gifts don't count as spending money. So technically we're at a net zero, but if we had bought this microphone outside of the Christmas season, we would be in debt right now.
I also paid for a program to publish the podcast, and that was a $5 a month thing, and I canceled that. Who knows? Maybe when we start,
basically what we're trying to say, we're heavily in debt, guys. There's going to be Ben's address on the screen right now.
My address.
Mail him some money.
Yeah. Only large bills.
Look up whatever the legal limit for distributing mail money through the mail is in your area, and do a couple dollars below that, and then send it our way.
Exactly. All jokes. Anyways, no. Yeah. Just share it. Just share it. Anyways, Karen, how was your vacation? What did you think of your vacation?
It was pretty great. I went to Florida for 2 weeks. First day. For a week.
It wasn't even a week. It was 5 days.
Right, but I went to 2 parks is what my brain was trying to think.
Oh,
Went to Universal. I it was really good. Did the Hogwarts stuff, Harry Potter stuff. I'm not huge into roller coasters, but I pushed myself today. I mean that day, and I actually rode some stuff I wouldn't have rode normally. I got this epic limited edition
whoa.
wand. They're
I
not going
don't
to
know
sell
where mine
these next
is.
year or any year after this year. So it was $15 extra. That's how you know you're getting quality plastic.
Yeah, I
uh,
broke mine.
really?
So dude, this is so frustrating. So I got 2 wands and a wand stand. So did you know the black wand stand that could hold 3 wands and it was like skulls on the end? No.
I didn't see it, but I can envision it.
Okay, so it was cool. But I got the wand stand and I got 2 wands. I got the elder wand, that was Mr. Dumbledore's, and then I got like one of their custom ones that technically was attributed to me based off of certain things. I don't know. And Isaac and I got in a fight, if you remember, and like started like hitting him with the elder wand, and it like snapped in half. And I was like super ticked at Isaac. I somehow convinced my mom to like make him pay half of the wand so that way we could buy another elder wand for me. So I got another elder wand, but the other one that was attributed to me, I just dropped it and it shattered in like
Bro.
different pieces. And I'm so frustrated. And then what's worse of all is that when I take the wand stand out of the box, I go to place my wand on it, and the wand stand breaks. So I don't know. I don't
Dude.
know what that means necessarily,
I don't
but
think you're supposed to be a wizard, my man. I don't think it's not for
I'm not a
you.
wizard. Not for
Um
me.
I made this little guy. So the
Well,
initial plan was for it to be all solid colors, red and blue, but they didn't have the head that I wanted for the body, or whether the legs and the body didn't fit, right? So
yeah,
instead I have a patriotic got a little guy.
you do.
I haven't thought of a name yet. Put in the comments down below. What should I name my droid? Uh, if I like your comment, you win. You win a trip to Ben's house with our 27th subscriber. Address
Special.
is on the screen right now. Okay.
That's super cool. Just so, did you drive it around?
Yes, I have before. I also got this Oswald.
That's super
On the
cool.
back of the hoodie, you can see Oswald's butt, but that's for the OnlyFans. So that's for
Yeah.
our exclusive to the Patreon.
It's our pay-per-view content.
Anyway, so yeah, made the wand, made the droid, didn't make a lightsaber because I heard from Benny Brooks over here that it's kind of a ripoff. Or maybe it was
As I
Isaac.
also, well, it's not Isaac because he bought one, so he's probably not going to admit that it is a ripoff.
Well, no, that's what he
But
said. He said that like the process of making a
oh,
droid was cooler and you get something better out of it, and it's the
yeah.
same price.
Well, the process of making a lightsaber, because I got to spectate Isaac, spectate, like what the heck? Like I got to be with him while he was making it. And it's cool, like super cool. But at the end of the day, I think you can like use your droid more. And I
Yeah.
think it's just more fun to like drive it around. As with like a lightsaber, you don't want to like, first of all, you got to find someone else who has spent the money to get that lightsaber. And second of all, you can't like hit it against something because you're so afraid that it's gonna break.
Right.
Whereas like the droids are honestly really durable. Um the only like cringy part about it is like trying to take the memory chip out or put it back in or something. I felt like I was gonna break it each time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
um I
Also, for
think the droids are super
lightsabers,
cool.
I didn't get one because I made a lightsaber the first time I went to Disney before it was like a whole thing. It was just like a store you walk into. It was
Mm-hmm.
cool. It had like it was double bladed, and one edge of it had the cross guard of Kylo Ren, and one edge didn't. So it was like
Whoa.
a staff kind of thing, and Isaac broke it. So
No, Isaac didn't break
yeah,
it.
yeah. But
Wow.
that's all I got.
You might be wondering, what's this movie that we watched? And the truth is, this is I guess I could pull it up. I guess I'll introduce it.
Of course.
But I guess I could lay the groundwork here. The
Yeah, yeah.
groundwork,
I was gonna ask
like
Ben, what is your connection to this movie? Why is it important to you? Why did you select
Right.
this one for your birthday
Right.
extravaganza?
So, well, you guys know I'm married, and the truth is, I am married to an ex murderer.
Oh, oh.
No, that is not the truth. In reality, uh, I was getting into movies. What the heck? I was like really into movies, and but then we all know the thing that happened in 2020, and that kind of like really devastated me because I can't go to movie theaters. There's like nothing coming out. It like sucks. It really
The
stinks.
podcast had to be put on hold.
We had to put it on hold, and I mean I was down, but I'm also like one of millions,
Yeah,
billions.
honestly, what Ben's
Like
just trying to say is that he probably had the worst.
I had it the
He
worst.
couldn't go to the
No,
movies.
I couldn't go. I mean, I was a senior, and yeah, I would have liked to have a graduation, but boy, oh boy, I miss going to the movies. Um, no, like duh, COVID sucked, but while I was like in the depressive state that everyone was with COVID, where it starts off like, oh yeah, 2 weeks off, this is
Yeah.
nice, to like month 6 hits, and it's like you
Uh-huh.
realize, oh, I haven't shaved, I'm disgusting.
Yeah.
I've been sitting in the same room for 6
6
straight
months.
months. Like I'm terrible. Like I you are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Technical difficulties. Just
Okay.
keep
All right.
going.
Well, it's just like in the in the state that I was of just sitting in filth and like I mean I showered and stuff, but I just like but even
You
the,
showered? Cringe. Wasting
there was
COVID
there
patients
was
needed that.
there was a point where in COVID that the shower felt gross, and I was like, oh, well, every part of like your house just becomes like a prison, and it's like
Yeah.
the worst thing ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, well, anyways, COVID's yeah, whatever, COVID bad, but
COVID bad.
my I was I go downstairs and my dad's playing some game or whatever. I think we're all talking. I don't know what we're talking about, but I was on the verge of like contemplating. Well, I was gonna propose to Sarah, but obviously, I don't know how long this is gonna go on. So what do I do?
Mhm.
Like I gotta chill and wait. Uh, and so I have all this stuff to think about. And my mom we were talking about Shrek, I think, because I make some like I think I go like donkey. I think I say that, and my mom has the idea.
Fiona.
That was like an Italian Shrek.
It's
Hey
Amelia Fiona.
Fiona,
I'm
get
walking
over
in
here,
Fiona.
donkey. Um, but my mom was like, "Have you seen So I Married an Axe Murder?" And I'm like, "No, I've never heard of that before." She's like, "Mike Myers." She goes, "Shrek's in it. You'll love it." She goes, "It's artsy." I'm like, "All right, yeah, let's watch it." What else am I gonna do? I don't got nowhere to be. Like I was just playing video games like every second. So yeah, I take the break. Um, and we watch it, and I absolutely loved it. It was like like I was not born in the 90s, but I feel like it fits it's like such a 90s movie though, which is so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like it makes so much sense. Uh and I just love it. And I love Mike Myers in it so much. I'm cracking up at this movie, and it becomes literally one of my all-time favorites. And I'm like so stoked about it. I'm like, oh babe, we have to watch this movie. I absolutely love it because it was something like really new I got to see that I've never heard of, didn't see any trailers for, knew nothing about it, and going in completely blind was just like
And it just fits so well with where you were at in your life, and like in regards to like you proposing and stuff, which is a big
right.
theme of the
And
show.
it's like if like am I ready for what's going to happen?
Right.
Like what if I like what do I not know about her? Not in like the axe murderer way, but like what do I not know? That could just like potentially mess things up. But we watched that, and then I remember like I loved it. And then a week later, I watched the Harry Potters for the first time, and like I watched that in the span of like 2 weeks.
I
So
also watched the Harry Potters for the first time over COVID. That's what's
yeah, that was
crazy
like
about it.
COVID was like honestly a great time for me to catch up on movies that like I know I needed to watch.
Hmm.
And I'm shocked it took me forever to get into Harry Potter, which is crazy because
Yeah.
it's amazing. Anyways, we're not talking about Harry Potter today.
Well, not
Um,
anymore.
not anymore. Not anymore. Yeah, so we're talking about So I Married an Axe Murderer. And I will say, I know it's not perfect, but I refuse that. To me, it's perfect. And that's what matters.
Yeah.
Because what is art if it doesn't make you feel something? So,
Mm.
So I Married an Axe Murderer, made 1993, directed by Thomas Schlamme. And it stars Mike Myers, Nancy Travis, Anthony LaPaglia,
Mm.
I don't know.
You got it, bro. You
And
got it.
Amanda Plummer. Yeah. And it's about, shoot, I had the thing here. It's about a San Franciscan poet who fears commitment and suspects his girlfriend may have a knack for killing off her significant others.
Woo!
Yeah, so no. Cameron, what did you think? We all know what I thought, but
Yep. Everybody is aware of what you thought. But what I thought,
I liked that impression.
that wasn't an impression. I just meant I started talking and the mask is slipping. Anyway, um, it okay. It's pretty good. You know
Don't
what?
like you don't have
No,
to
I
like
am
don't be
not
afraid of hurting my
sugarcoating it. I'm not
feelings. I'm being
sugarcoating it.
serious.
This is one of those like you watch a movie and you don't want to be analytical and you don't want to you don't want to be dissecting it or being like, hey, let me think about how I'll talk about this on a podcast. You watch it and you're just enjoying yourself pretty much.
Mm,
It's a simpler kind of movie where the premise is in the title. He's dating someone, eventually marries them, and thinks they're a murderer, right? Like that. How simple do you get?
right.
Yeah. And for that premise, it has some interesting parts that I wasn't expecting. And it has like a sense of like there's genuinely funny moments. I don't know why I'm blanking right now, but there's just
He lost his script, so he's
yeah.
just trying to like
I've never had to do this off the top of my head before. No, it's Ben will think that I'm like sugarcoating it or just saying this to make him feel good, but I actually did really like the movie. Um, it is a rom-com, and I like those, so that's a good. I've not
right.
really seen a lot of Mike Myers stuff other than Shrek, really.
I was just talking to my mom about that today. Because I told her because she really loves this movie, and I told her I was like, "Hey, we're recording an episode. Do you think you want to watch it?" And she said, "Not a chance." And I'm like, "Okay, mom, but we're doing it about an axe murder." And she goes, "Maybe." Yeah, but uh, what was I even
You were
saying?
talking
Oh
about
yeah,
Mike Myers.
yeah. I was talking to my mom. I was like, I don't like. I just saw an interview with him on like stuff. Like it was a GQ interview on his characters, and I realized I've only seen Shrek, and I've only seen this,
Yeah,
nothing else. Um, and like I hear Wayne's World is such like a
Wayne's
like that's how
World,
we
and
that's how we started because it was an SNL character that got turned into a movie,
yeah.
and
The other good big one that he's big.
Austin Powers is
Yeah,
like apparently one of like some of the best comedies ever that I've just never seen.
yeah,
And I need to get on that. But I don't know. It's so weird. It's so weird because this movie doesn't really fit the mesh of like those goofy characters. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
Charlie, the character is goofy in himself, but he is just a regular person. Like he
yeah.
has regular flaws of just like scared of commitment, which we've seen that in film before. So
I'd say the
it is
goofiest he
interesting.
gets, the goofiest stuff happens around him. Like I'd never
Yeah,
thought, even though I'd never seen his stuff, knowing who he plays, I didn't expect to see Mike Myers in a straight man role kind of thing where
right.
all the goofy stuff is going around. Not like you know what I mean, like
I
uh, but yeah, he has he plays his own father in the movie, which is and he does the Shrek voice, and that's pretty goofy. And
it's yeah.
his best
And plays the
friend,
bagpipes.
yeah, his best friend has some goofy stuff going on in his police department. But as far as Mike Myers goes, other than thinking he's dating an axe murderer, he doesn't really have a lot of wacky antics going on.
Right. I mean, you see his butt in the movie, which like,
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. But like, I mean, he's a poet,
Yeah.
so he has like these like weird poet scenes that are like
Woman. Whoa,
Whoa,
man.
man.
I'm not gonna lie, by the end of the movie, those were getting on my nerves.
Yeah, well, there's only like three of them.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Is that his job? Is that his career? Does he do that for work?
No, so I don't know what his job is. Uh, I know he was like, I mean, technically he got a job at the butcher shop, right? Or was he just helping her?
Bro is playing the long game with that. He,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. Like, if you look too deep into the movie,
I know, yeah, no,
you
like
can find these
most
holes.
most
Like,
sitcoms and stuff just have like, oh, this character always has a bunch of free time, but they also live in a really nice apartment in the middle of New York City. Like it doesn't,
right?
you don't have to
Like
think about
Sarah
it.
and I watched New Girl, and it's these people living in an apartment in New York City where, like, obviously the rent's going to be high, but
Hmm.
none of them, like, we only see one character at work. What? You're shaking your head? No,
I mean, there is like five
it's
of
not New
them.
York City. It's LA. Okay, even more. It's all right. It's LA. So the rent's even more. And like we
But
see one character at their job constant, or two, because one of them's a bartender and one of them is a cop. But like Jess,
yeah,
the new girl, is like this principal of the school, and like she's always just never at work.
yeah,
So she's either just really bad at her job, or like she has an incredible
yeah.
job where they just give her
It
time
like
off.
it's funny that there's not enough time, like there's not a lot of time dedicated to that because is the premise of the show is that they're all roommates. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
that's the
You
setup, and
can't
then
like and like you can't, because it'd be super boring if like,
like
you know what,
90% of the
like
show is just their empty apartment because they're all at work.
exactly, or like it's just them at work doing like a
Right.
normal like job, for instance, like it'd be boring for any rom-com, really, just like them just at work. To me, those plot holes are excusable if
Yeah.
like watching like the like I mean, I'm not explaining what makes a rom-com good. It's
Right.
like
They're
if
not going
two,
for realism.
exactly. And
That being said,
Notting Hill,
Big Bang Theory, they're at work all the time. That's why it's one of the best. Realism.
take that back. Anyways, but Notting Hill, which is another one of my favorites, and arguably like it's considered one of the best rom-coms, is because like it's about a movie star getting with this like regular, bookstore keeper. It's like
Yeah.
the chances of that are so slim, and there's so many plot holes when you watch the movie, but no one cares because we are just laughing and just having a good time. It's like heartwarming. And for me, if like a rom-com isn't, well, first of all, funny or heartwarming, it's probably pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like, I
You
don't
really
know.
there's not
And
a lot of criteria to fit in a
right,
rom-com.
but for some reason you'd think it'd be super hard, because like Sarah and I watched one with John Krasinski. He wasn't one of the leads. What was it called? Do you remember? Yeah, it was, but it was like I don't even.
Is that the one that Baby watches in Baby Driver?
No, I don't know.
It might be.
Uh, Wait, really?
Yeah.
Baby is watching a rom com?
He's flipping through the channels. He's like, they grow up so fast, don't they?
No, that's not it.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Either way, but it's about like the lead is having an affair, but they excuse that because another person's having an affair, so it's okay to like be cheating on. And it's like it's not funny, and it just makes you frustrated because you're watching two terrible people that don't deserve each other, and it like kind of breaks its own rules on like
Right.
making your two characters likable. Like we like Charlie because he's a goofball, and he's funny and his dad's funny. And I mean, they purposely write her as a more mysterious, like, red herring type thing. So I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's just the rules are there and they're not hard to like follow. I guess. I mean, I also never made a movie, but like,
That's the thing. I think what the problem is it looks easier than it is, and that's why so many people get it wrong. They're
maybe.
like, "Oh, rom-com. You need the rom, you need the com." And then you go in and you try to make it, and it's not just that. And also if you're bad at those things, then you're not going to,
Right.
maybe it's harder than it looks. I'm sure it is. And that's the reason it looks so easy is why there's so many bad ones because people keep trying without fully understanding what they're tackling.
Right. Not no, that's true. But anyways, I don't know. I do. I mean, I'll say what I think. I do really love this movie. Um, I think Mike Myers is great. Like, no performance in here is like spectacular by any means, but it's just like it's so good. And I just remembered is the pilot. The pilot is who plays the pilot?
I don't know, but I know who you're talking about.
He's like this deadpan comic, and I remember I was watching because in quarantine was watching a bunch of like stand up
Stephen
stuff.
Wright.
Stephen Wright, yeah, it was, dude, just like I don't know, man, it's just such a good movie. I know I've said this like 20 times, but you do need to watch it. Anyways, I mean, what are your complaints with this though?
Well, like you were saying, there's not really a much of a reasons to go into stuff I don't like about it. Obviously, if you wanted to
Right.
pick at it, not every joke landed for me. Especially towards the start. It took me a minute
Mm-hmm.
uh to, get into the groove. But I I think you could say that Harriet doesn't really have much of a character, but she kind of fills the role she needs to for the story because it's more about it's not that kind of movie where you're exploring both sides of the relationship. This is a very one-sided movie.
Right. Yeah.
It Yeah, it like you call it a rom-com, it's more like a rom-com, you know what I'm saying? Like there's way more com than there is rom.
That's true. And I think like it's an hour and a half movie. It's a pretty quick movie.
Yeah.
So it is hard to really give a lot of these characters deep stories with them. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, and I think just an easy way that they went about it is just like, let's make everyone in this world be on the same plane as far as funniness goes, and how they react to Charlie is going to be virtually the same, to where everyone likes Charlie a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
his friend, like everyone is normal, but how they adapt to Charlie is all the same. Like, uh, obviously the parents are, just like I don't know. I think it was just a Mike Myers idea of like, I want to play my dad. I don't know. Uh, but like you have Harriet, who is a very like mysterious person, but at the end of the day, she like is laughing at what Charlie's doing because
Yeah.
I also
You know
wonder how
what?
much of this is
I
improv.
guess you're
Like,
right. That makes sense. Sorry to interrupt, but
no,
you don't
you're
know a
good.
lot about her because that's kind of the point.
Well, yeah, it's like you got like if we know, I guess we're gonna spoil the movie.
Yeah.
Like so you need to watch it, whatever. I think you can kind of figure it out though, like whatever. But if they just say like she's not the axe murderer, you know what I mean? But my whole thing though while watching this, okay, this is my complaint. This is my complaint. Um, is that why on earth is she never telling Charlie that her sister is killing people? Okay.
Does she know that her sister kills
Yes.
people?
Real. Oh,
That's the thing. She knows that she's been
her
married
husbands
before and that they
are
don't,
dying.
that she was nervous on the honeymoon night because like she didn't know if he was going to die. Does she know why? That's the thing. I
That's
don't remember.
true. That makes more sense. That makes more
No, no,
sense.
no, she doesn't. Because then why would Rose go to the trouble of writing a note if Harriet knew all about it?
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. Okay, I'll take that back then. But well, like I was saying, like with us not getting enough of these characters, I think it is excused. A, because we need to have that mysterious element for Harriet, and then like B, my dog's here. What did you like the movie?
Maya,
Okay,
my,
Maya.
you asked for things I don't like about it. There's not a lot. But a thing that I do like about it that we haven't talked about yet, his friend, Michael Myers' friend in the movie, has this whole side plot where he's a police detective and he his view of what police work was based on the movies isn't lining up with how the police work actually is. And so he's trying to get his chief to like yell at him more and be like going on missions, and he's trying to like commandeer vehicles, and like it's like that was like really funny to me. Like that was probably my
Dude,
favorite plot.
it's like a good side plot that like
Yeah, I don't
adds
think
to the goofiness of it.
it couldn't hold its own, but it's like a nice side thing to cut to every now and then.
Right. Well, I mean, this movie barely holds its own. Like it is an hour and a half. Like it is like ready, set, go as soon as like they get out. Like as soon as it goes. Like we
Yeah.
follow this cup of coffee to him, and it's like, ask for a large or whatever it was.
That I was worried that the jokes were going to be on that level the whole time.
Really?
I was like, Dude, Ben, no.
To me though, like that's fine though, because with Charlie, that's just him like doing these dad jokes, so to say. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
just like a goofy person. I don't know.
yeah. About Charlie, about Michael Myers. Michael
It's
Myers,
it's Mike Myers.
Michael Myers being the oh yeah, Michael Myers is the killer.
Yeah,
He is the
yeah,
ex murderer.
yeah.
Mike
Yes, it's the plot twist. It's like the
Mike
Baby Driver joke.
yeah.
We got Mike Myers. That's
Mike Myers
oh.
being the love interest in a rom com is very funny to me.
Yeah. Well, it's like you can definitely tell that because I'm sure he had to have written this because I can't imagine him getting casted to.
Well, no, I definitely can. Like he's a comedian.
Mm,
If it's gonna be more comedy focused like this is, then yeah, he didn't write it. It's just you hire a funny person to do funny things in your movie, you know?
that's fair. No, it's oh, it's interesting. I wouldn't have
What
chosen
doesn't
him.
make sense, and this is a tangent, what doesn't make sense is Mark Ruffalo he before he was the Hulk, he was a rom-com guy. He
Yeah,
was
and
a
I don't understand
heartthrob.
that. I don't understand that at all. It's weird.
Like
Like
I like
he's a
13 going
handsome
on
fella,
30, but he's a handsome fella, you know. He's
but
a
do handsome fellas be are good in rom-coms?
there's handsome fella and then there's heartthrob and you need the step above
Right.
unless it's going to be a total comedy
You know,
like this.
if you ever look back at like old interviews with Brendan Fraser, it is unfortunate that he was never like the heartthrob. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he was like heartthrob material. He was a good-looking guy,
Yeah,
and he
Indiana
had like
represent. We got a ton of heartthrobs like us three, the
we
three that
us
make it.
three.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Oh no, but it's like the 90s had some solid rom-coms, and after watching this opened my eyes to this genre on like
Mhm.
because before I want to say like the closest thing I got to a rom-com was Scott Pilgrim,
Yeah,
but that's not really rom-com,
that's a
is
lot
it?
of things.
It's a
It's
lot. It is a lot. But
yeah, it's kind of
I'm
its own
sorry.
thing. I'm
Yeah,
not bored. It's
I was you're just ready to end this.
no,
It's not my fault we had to delay recording a
no. I
bunch
went to bed
today.
at 4 in the morning yesterday, so
I went to bed at 2 in the morning, so that's no excuse.
yeah, it is.
Wait, so you did say you had a family outing. What'd you do?
Just went out. Out to eat. We went to some game stores.
Would you
Uh
guys go to the game preserve?
no, actually, we went to a game store downtown called Good Games.
Okay, so we almost went to the game preserve today, and I would have been ticked if you guys went
And we
and
went
we
to
didn't
Barnes and
go.
Noble, which is where I saw those Criterion Collection movies, like
Oh
our
yeah,
favorite Triangle of Sadness.
that's
Uh,
so dumb. Um, but, yeah. Well, you wouldn't be bored or tired if you did, recorded when I called you.
if we recorded when I called you, I'd be yawning. So
When
I
did
don't
you
know.
call me?
We'll cut that. Just now. That's the joke. Anyway. Anyway. Um. So
Okay.
yeah, your eyes were open to rom coms. Your eyes were open to rom coms.
Right, yeah. And I started watching like Notting Hill and a few of these other ones. And
Yeah.
uh I feel like the rom-coms peaked back back then.
Uh huh.
Because like now we haven't had many good ones. I know there's Always Be My Maybe, and I enjoyed that
I've
one a
seen
lot.
that. It's all right. It's not that great. It's
Keanu
not that
Reeves is
great.
funny in it.
Uh oh, wait, no, that one's fine. Actually, I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of To All the
You're gonna have
Boys
to
I
cut it
Love.
out.
No,
Wait, oh,
I
okay,
was thinking
okay.
of To All the Boys I Loved Before.
What?
That's a different Netflix rom com. It's more for teenagers than like teenage girls.
Okay, I
It's a
see.
trilogy.
No,
I've only seen the first two. I'm sorry,
don't they?
but
Didn't they do the I Hate Sarah Burgess or whatever?
Sierra Burgess is a loser.
Yeah, something like that.
One of the worst movie, probably my least favorite movie, if not Dear Evan Hansen. That's pretty terrible.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
How? What makes it bad?
I think I've talked about this before. I know I talked about it before in real life. I don't know about on the podcast.
Oh.
But okay, so basically it's a rom-com, right? About this guy who asks like a cheerleader for her number, and she pranks him by giving her the loser's number. And so she is texting this guy and being in a relationship with this guy over text, but he thinks that she's a cheerleader, but she's a loser. Um, so not it's
Oh.
kind of it's a weird premise. Uh, then the weird premise plus some of the worst writing ever. There's a scene which I can describe it to you every time. I've seen the movie a few times, and every time I see it, it hits just as hard. This is the most cringe. I don't viscerally react to cringe. This is one of the only times that I've actually cringed at a movie, and it like made me squirm. There's these mean girls. It's the cheerleader and her mean girl friends are in the bathroom, and they're making fun of her, and they're calling her names, and she's like, oh, what are you, like Frodo or something like that, something stupid. And she's like, actually, Frodo was in Lord of the Rings, not the Hobbit. The Hobbit is Bilbo. And then her cheerleader friends are like, she got you. Like that's supposed to be a triumphant moment of like,
No way. That's a
yes,
triumphant
yes, that's like
moment.
a rebuttal. Like,
Technically, Frodo is in the first Hobbit movie
yeah,
too.
no, she's
So
not. She's not like, but like, I don't think I said it right. But what I'm saying is, it was a weird thing for the reaction that I got. Right, it was supposed to be like this, "Ha, got you back," but it was just like a weird nerdy thing that
no
got her more
way. That
bullied.
is
Not
awful.
that is not the worst it gets. Okay, in terms of like visual cringe, that is, but it gets. I'm gonna spoil it. It gets to the point in the movie where she now teams up with the girl, the cheerleader girl. The cheerleader girl goes on a date with the guy, and she sits like they go to a movie. She sits in the row behind them, so she can be on the date too. And then they go to the parking lot, and she's like, "We should kiss, but you have to close your eyes." And he closes his eyes, and then they
Oh
swap
no.
places. And then when he opens his eyes, he's like, "What?" And then by the end of the movie, he falls for her.
No way.
Now take all
Oh.
that and then add the fact that the cheerleader actually has an interesting story, and we have to spend 90% of the movie following Sierra Burgess. It's just unbearable. It is unbearable.
Yikes. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that. I think the most I've cringed, like in a good way, like I believe it was meant to be cringy, was I was in eighth grade, in the
Oh,
car
yeah, in the
scene.
car. Oh, that's such a different thing.
But like
Like,
I think that's intentional. Like it's
yeah,
supposed to be like awkward
definitely.
cringe.
It's not it's like it's awkward, cringy, and also like it gives you that disgusting and like deep
Yeah.
feeling. It's
Yeah.
like this
That
isn't
and the
right kind
banana
of thing.
scene was kind of awkward too.
Yeah, but those are intentional, right? This
Right.
is very much not intentional. This is, hey,
Yeah.
girlies, do you not feel comfortable in your own skin? Pretend to be someone else, and they'll fall in love with you
Yeah, that's
anyway.
like such bad, like that's such a bad message.
Yeah,
Like that is terrible. What in the world?
yeah.
I don't want to watch it at all. But
And
well,
then she solves all of her problems. She can't get into college. She wants the school to like her, and she wants this guy to like her, even though they have a falling out later in the movie. She solves all that problems by writing a song
why does she want the guy to like her when
because he's played by Noah
Centineo?
Centineo.
No way.
Yeah.
Did you know Noah Centineo and is it Sarah?
Your wife?
Oh, no. Well, okay, I thought she shared a birthday with Noah, but it's Jacob Sartorius that she shares a
Oh,
birthday with. So,
yo.
but no.
You can
Anyways,
wear my
speak
sweatshirt.
speaking of birthdays,
It's
you guys may
yours.
notice that it's fine. You guys may notice though, I did try to invite one of my good friends to like to be on this episode. Unfortunately, it was also his birthday today. So unfortunately, Dwayne Johnson, like, he messaged me. He was like, I can't be on this episode. So Dwayne, I am, this is just from me. Like maybe next year you might not have your birthday on the same day as me. Like maybe you can try to like reschedule it. But you know,
That that's crazy that he couldn't make it. And I know that you guys are really close, so that
right?
kind of stinks.
Yeah, it
Um,
sucks.
do you want to, since you guys are so close, do an impression of what he would say to you on your birthday?
Mm. I mean, well, I have to think because he said like he could just say so many things, and
True.
all right,
All right.
Ben. I gotta say happy birthday. Can you smell your cake that I baked? I think that's it for this episode. Special appearance by Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Yeah.
Check Dwayne out.
Check Dwayne out. His socials are on the websites. I'm not gonna link them.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to find them.
Yeah, he's kind of popular. Okay. I think we're ending it, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
So we talked about the movie, we talked about Florida, we talked about how we need people to start sharing it or else we're gonna die.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I think that's what Ben was saying. And obviously the Dwayne Johnson message. Yeah, I think we hit everything that was on the plan for today.
At least for my script, that's what it said. Wait, it says nude dance by Cameron.
No.
Oh, I added it in pencil. I was hoping
it would. Okay. Well. Signing out. Signing out, boys.
Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Harriet!